What is going on, lads? Jack here and welcome to episode 28 of the Road to Glory with Guangzhou Hengda. 28 already. That's come up pretty quick. I can't quite believe that. Wow. That's like, I don't know, every video that I do is probably about 15 minutes long, so that's like a long time. I can't be bothered to do the math. But anyway, yeah, let's stop rambling, Jack. Let's cover this month's fixtures. Today we have the second leg of the FA Cup semi-final game, so it's a big game for us. And we've had quite a few big league games we've had a few big games in all competitions this month. I'm going to start by covering our league form. In the league, since the Chengdu result that was a 3-0 home win in the previous episode, we've played 4 league games against Beijing IT, Songjiang, Rennes, and Beijing FC. In these results, we've got 3 wins and 1 draw. The wins coming against Beijing, Songjiang and Rennes. I guess the pick of the games was probably the Songjiang game. It was just a really good, solid performance by the entire squad. Songjiang are fairly low down in the league, but it was a really, really dominant performance. I mean, looking at the stats, you can see we absolutely ripped them to shreds in all areas of the field, and that was a really good, solid win. We'll watch the highlights from these games. So yeah, we got 3 wins and a draw, which wasn't bad. We were 7 points clear. No, we were 4 points clear of Chengdu at the start of the month. After the win that we got in the previous episode. So 4 points ahead with about 10 games left. It was all about us keeping on getting points, keeping on winning, making sure we don't lose. And the fact that we didn't lose this month has left us in great stead because Chengdu drew a game as well, and they also lost a game. So we're now 7 points clear. Anyway, that was a slightly dubious own goal given. I'm never really sure about them when they cannon off the post and against the keeper's back, and they end up in the back of the net. I mean, I guess technically it is an own goal, but I do feel as if that's the kind of situation where the striker should be credited with the goal. But anyway, second goal of the game here came from Hunso. I have been rotating the squad quite a lot recently. With us being slightly further ahead in the league than Chengdu, you know, having that nice little cushion, been able to rest and rotate players for the cup games that have been coming up, and so for most of these games I've not necessarily been playing with the strongest 11. But anyway, that was a really good convincing 3-0 win against Songjiang. In other games, we got a 0-0 draw against Beijing, who are 3rd in the league, so that wasn't a bad result in the grand scheme of things away. Good to keep a clean sheet, and that stretches our clean sheets in a row in the league to 3 games, and in 4 of our last 5 we've got a clean sheet in the league. And all in all, just a quick look at the league table, we are currently 4 points ahead of Chengdu, but we have got a game in hand on them, which if we win will go 7 points clear with 6 games left. So the title really is ours to lose now. I can't see us slipping up it. I'm pretty sure we've got that in the bag. The other fixture that you've missed was a cup game against the Okayama FC in the Champions League quarter-final. I'm going to be covering the second leg obviously today of the FA Cup, and then the second leg of the quarter-final will be the next episode, which there's only 1 league game in between. It's kind of a bit of not a problem, I guess, but because I'm in the Chinese FA Cup and I'm on a good run, and I'm in the Champions League and I'm in a good run, and the fact that there's obviously the Champions League first leg, second leg of the semi-final, quarter-final and finals, that's potentially 5 or 6 games. I can't remember if the final is over 2 legs. I mean, it might be 1 leg, so we've got potentially 5, you know, cup games in that sense. And then obviously the Chinese FA Cup, I've already covered the first leg. There's the second leg today, which if we win, we then have another 2 videos potentially. So I'm not sure quite how the videos are going to be structured come the end of the year, because I don't want to have to do 6 episodes, but at the same time I don't really want to do the FA Cup first leg and then a Champions League final second leg in the same video, because it just doesn't make that much sense. So I'll have to work out the logistics of that once I get the fixtures sorted. This is all very much in the air because we have got to beat Chengdu Blades today. It's a big game for us. Looking at squad, we've got a really kind of, I guess, full strength team, to be honest. Going to be starting with potentially our strongest team. We have got a few injuries which have been a little bit annoying, and a few players need a rest, which is fine. Players like Jimin, you know, he's not the youngest player anymore, so players like him need, you know, a bit of rotation, which is fine. It just gives other players a really good opportunity to, I guess, get a few first team games. Players like by Z, you know, 2 games in the last 5. He hadn't made any appearances before that. It's nice to have players like him. Obviously I signed him from Beijing IT, but he's a young player and he needs first team football to develop. He is 5th choice centre back of our and we obviously only play with 3 at the back, so it's hard to get players like him a game because I like to keep my back 4 the same where possible. But it's been nice just with that little bit of a cushion, I guess, in the league to really rotate players. But anyway, this is today's team, slightly changed, I guess, because as I said, we have had a few injuries and a few players not at full fitness yet, such as Monrio. So we'll go into this game. Hopefully we can do a good performance against Chengdu. Obviously 0-0 from the first leg, so it does come down entirely to this leg as to, I guess, what happens in terms of if we get through to the final or not. We did beat them, however, in the last encounter 3-0. If you watched that, that was last episode. Was that last episode? Yeah, that was last episode. So this is like the 3rd episode in a row where we will have played Chengdu. And in the last 2, it's obviously been 0-0 and then more recently 3-0. We've got a really strong, solid squad going into this game. Hunso, our man of the moment, I suppose. Ask for assistant advice. Is this the one? I can never remember. There we go, that's the right staff member to ask to cover everything. So yeah, big game. We are at home advantage. You'd hope we can really press on with the home advantage and go on to win this. Should be interesting to see how, I guess, we cope, because there is a bit of pressure on us, I guess, to do well. But I do kind of have faith in the players. They've shown that they can beat the likes of Chengdu quite convincingly when they want to. And all in all, we are in good form in all competitions. We are probably, I want to say, we're the best team in Asia on paper, and I really do believe that. I just kind of have really quite a lot of faith in the squad to do well this year. We have potentially got a treble still on the go with the league, the FA Cup, and potentially the Champions League, which would be absolutely insane. But obviously, I want to prioritise the Champions League where possible, simply because it's what I need to progress in the Pentagon Challenge. But anyway, we're playing in our away kit here today because of the kit clashes, and Yang burying a goal for us there, 1-0 after 17 minutes. That's a fantastic start. Looking at the possession stats from the first 17 minutes, we are all over them. Let's switch the highlights to extended. But no, hopefully we can do well here. When the ball comes in and Tong there is playing on the right wing, you'll know Tong as the centre mid who's been playing really well for us. He's playing on the right wing today, just giving Yumin a rest. It's nice to have plenty of versatile midfielders, and that's something that we certainly have in abundance. Really pressing them high up the line. I mean, you can see they're playing a 4-1-2-1-2. We've really got them marked man for man in the centre, and there's not a lot of space for them. And we look like we're working the ball around well, and we are really going to be trying to hit them on the counter here. Really outnumbering them in the centre of the park with our attacking midfielder and then our 2 very good centre mids. Le Peng with the ball then, Long smashes it in, 2-0 after 30 minutes. This is looking really, really promising now. I don't know, when we drew 0-0 with Chengdu, we were literally all over them and we did everything but score. And certainly in the last few games, with the exception of the 0-0 draw to Beijing, we've been scoring 3 or 4 every game, which has been absolutely ridiculous. The team is playing really well, and it's like everything's clicking kind of thing. Our attacking football is really working. We have more quality than players and other teams in terms of, I guess, just raw player for player, man for man. We outmatch them in every park, and it really does show in this league kind of form. I mean, looking at the momentum bar, we're all over them. They're yet to have a shot on target, and you've got to remember this Chengdu team who won the league last year, where like the reason that the previous Guangzhou manager got sacked because he didn't win the league, whereas it looks like we're kind of really reasserting our dominance, I guess, over China. Brought in lots of first team players, and they've all kind of really gelled together and started playing really solidly for us. But anyway, more possession for us. Zhang Long down the left-hand side. Chong Wei to Tong on the right. Long shot saved by Zhao Feng in goal. Good save by him. Slightly kind of speculative effort. And we go into the break. 2-0 up at half-time. You've played really well. Keep it going, lads. We'll go with that. Team is playing really solidly. Looking at the ratings, everyone's a 7. But with a few exceptions. I kind of consider 7 the benchmark for a good performance, and then kind of 7.3 and above is a very kind of, you know, standout performance where everyone's playing well, but we just look like a far better team. Hunso showing a turn of pace. Shui in the centre, ball won't make it there, and they're looking like they're trying to hit us on the counter-attack. Nothing coming of it though from the looks of things. So I may look to just do a few subs because we have got a big Champions League game coming up in a little, I think it's under a week now. That'll be the next episode, the Champions League second leg. I've not actually covered the first leg game because I'm going to cover that in the next episode. Keep kind of the tournament together rather than covering it this episode, then having to recap it again next episode during the Champions League final. It's a lot easier for me to do it like this. But we are looking really, really solid here. There's not a lot I can add. I mean, they've not had a shot on target yet, and this is a good team, but we are just a better team. You know, we are the best team in China by an absolute mile at the moment, and we just have to. We've certainly kind of clicked, I guess, and they hit the post, and they're going to score on the rebound with their first shot of the game. Actually, no, it was the second shot. And that adds a bit of tension now, because if we throw this away, it'll be something that I won't be very happy about. And I'm going to do some changes here because Lu Wei is injured. I'm going to bring Zhumin on and Zeus to see this game out. Dong is injured as well. We'll put Bai on. I have faith in Bai. He's a very solid player despite his age. Just making 3 changes, really, I guess, keeping the squad as fresh as I can. Bringing on Zeus who can score. Hopefully we can just see out this game now and really, really kind of play to our strengths here. Bye here. Don't screw up after I've put you on. That's all I ask, or else I'll feel terrible. But no, you can see we just look so comfortable in possession of the ball, and we're able just to outplay opposition teams, like passing wise. We absolutely dictate the tempo of nearly every game we play. Occasionally we are getting caught on the counter and stuff, and it is important that we eradicate that if possible. As we've seen this game, we do get hit on the break, but all in all we've played really well. Hunso anyway with the free kick. Oh, that was just over. 6 minutes left, 2-1 up. I still feel as if we've got every reason to just hold on now for the last 2 minutes as it stands. And that looks like it's going to be the game with 10 seconds left. A 2-1 win in the semi-final. That's a fantastic result that sees us go into the final of the FA Cup. Which is over 2 legs at the end of the season. I don't know where that slots in relation to the Champions League, so that'll be interesting to see how we go on. But that is a really good performance. Players played really well on the day. Chengdu got a goal back, and it might have been potentially a nervy last few minutes, but they only really mustered up 1 more shot after that. And all in all, we absolutely dominated that game. That was a really good performance by the team. So that sees us into the FA Cup final, and we're going to be playing against Rizikwan, who came back from 2-0 down to Shenhua to win 4-2 on aggregate. Wow, that's a result and a half for them. They're not the best team in the country, they're not a bad team, but you'd expect us to beat them. So yeah, the next fixture I'm going to cover will be the Champions League second leg. Obviously I've already played the first leg, which was 4-2, but I'll cover that in more detail next episode. If you enjoyed the video, as always guys, please smash the like button. That was a really good result for us. The treble is still on. I am really optimistic about this now. And other than that guys, I'll talk to you in a bit. It's me Jack, and I'm out.